Yes, glow. Moving my little station over here was the move. Hey YouTube, it's me, Christiana. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to When in Doubt Pink. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so I finally did it, okay? If you know, you know. That every month I always do like a monthly like roundup of all of my faves and thoughts on different things, or just like a life recap, you know. And I have a section where I talk about my personal goals and challenges and things like that. And the last couple of videos have not been that great or not been that great in that section, I should say, because life was just really lifing on me, and I kept not being able to actively be thinking about my goals, right? I decided at the beginning of this year, 2024, that I was going to be doing the 12-week year, basically going about my goals in quadrants, or quarters is really what it is, in quarters, as a way to kind of make it easier on myself, because I am a very like forgetful spirit, also a very busy girly, okay? And it's like really easy for me to lose sight of my goals if I am planning a whole bunch of stuff on January 1st, and then like midway through the year, like I am like expecting myself to keep that up. It doesn't work for me, right? And so I was like, let me try this like 12-week year method, taking my life in 3-month sections and taking a run at it, right? Like I said, life was lifing on me, and so I didn't get to Q2 and evaluate my goals, or figure out were there things that I had actually accomplished, or you know, whatever the case might be. And it actually turned out that I'd accomplished a lot. I was a lot harder on myself than I needed to be, because a lot of the things I just like kind of pulled off the wall happened a while ago, and that like honestly felt really good. And so I realized I look naked. I have like a tube top one, okay? Summertime. Okay, so I literally just sat down just now and went over my goals, my hopes and dreams, you know. And the one thing that kind of stood out to me very early on is that I think that I was going about this not in the most realistic way, meaning that if I know that right now, for example, at work we are going into the political season. I am involved in politics as a part of my work, if that makes sense, right? And so like, also I should say now, if you were expecting to hear tidbits from me as a person, you know, on some of the things that have been going on politically, you probably won't get much from me, because I have to be mindful that as a part of my work, right, I like deal with reporters, and I do a lot of PR work, and it would just be really weird for me to be like at work saying one thing and then being here talking trash and expecting no one to quote me or misquote me. You heard? So there's just certain things that you won't hear me get too deep into, just because that's just the smart thing to do. Anyway, so like I know that the next 4 months or so are gonna be busy as heck. Why would I create goals that I cannot realistically keep up with if I know already what this workload gives? And it's temporary, you know, things will be different after the 2nd week in November, but, and especially because you go into the holiday season for real, things will slow down. But realistically, I have to go about my goals a certain kind of way, and in a way that is sustainable right now, you know. So I was very kind to myself this time around, going over everything, and I feel okay about that. I know before too, I was saying like, you know, I was gonna keep a lot of my goals and things like that to myself. I'm still gonna be kind of private, but also I want to share a little bit of the things that is just not a big deal to share, right? And also I just want to be honest with you too, is that like when I started this, was battling a lot of insecurity, especially around my financial situation. Spoke about this before, that I lost my car at one point. It was repossessed because I basically traded the ability for me to have housing. You know, I basically traded my car for a place to live, and that was really, really hard. But we make sacrifices in life. I since have gotten my car back with the help of my dear friends and, you know, union siblings from their own paychecks, not from the union itself, you know. Anywho, Q3 is July, August, and September, which threw me off a little bit, because when you like, I thought initially, I didn't count or anything, but I think initially I thought the summer was one quarter, and it's just not. Like, June is a part of Q2, and then you have September, which is like the beginning of fall. So this is just, you know, very interesting to think about. The categories I've kind of placed for myself as far as my quarterly goals are concerned are goals around my career, whether that is like my life outside of my 9-to-5, which is like, you know, YouTube, and like wanting to still be a content creator, right? I have a desire to be able to make a real income doing this, right? But I also have goals that are associated with my 9-to-5, if that makes sense. I have a ton of financial goals, so I have like a section for my financial goals, my health goals, and my personal growth. These are two separate categories for a certain reason. I have just like a list of like things I want to do for my home, my space, because like I said just a moment ago, like I was struggling so hard this time last year that it just felt like a blessing to just have a roof over my head, and I'm only just becoming in the position to be able to decorate and nest and make this place my home, you know. So I do have like a little category for that kind of stuff. I have a category for fun and recreation, and this might sound funny, but like as a Capricorn girly, I just thought about this thing I always say, that Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob was probably a Capricorn. But like the way that I hustle and work myself into the ground, although that shit makes me feel really good, it just does. I have to be very intentional about planning fun, like intentionally setting aside time to have fun. Even me going on vacation, I had to plan that time for fun, not work. And I almost took my laptop with me on vacation, but I didn't. And then I just have like a relationships section, because it hand in hand with the fun and recreation. I'm also like a deadbeat friend, family member, cousin, like whatever. Like I can be a deadbeat like person, and it is really associated with the culture of my work, and that we're all kind of like this. If you're not in my organization, a lot of times it's really hard to make you exist. And that is weird, you know. Like I remember this one day, I don't even remember what happened. Okay, I have been thinking about this thing, right? That in my organization, we have a lot of call and responses to things. Like somebody might say something, and just instinctively we all know how to react or what the response is, and we'll say it, right? Like there's like a lot of call and response kind of things, right? And at one point a couple weeks ago, I was like looking around, like how do we all know that to say this particular thing? And I was like, am I in a cult? Am I in a cult? And I asked my coworker this later on, and I was like, hey, do you ever wonder wonder, like, are we in a cult? And she was like, yes. But a good one. I was like, you know, I appreciate this honesty. And it's really, like, not true, but like there's some levels where it is like we just be all in on this thing together, and people outside of that orbit just stop existing in a way that is not healthy. It's not healthy, but it is what it is. So I do have this like little relationships section. I should also say too, I know that the girlies like usually will put their like hopes and dreams in Notion. I use Notion for work, but for something like this, I actually just needed to be able to see something like spread out visually in my face, and there's no way I can like forget about it because it's right there on the wall. It just works for me. So I think if I was gonna share a couple of things with you that I had wrote or revised or left, because maybe I didn't actually do it, in my career section, before I had a goal for work to be able to deliver some trainings, because I have a lot of knowledge about a lot of things, and so I give trainings on how to use social media, like how to read analytics and things like this, right? How to make content. That is one of my favorite parts of my work, and I had a goal to deliver a certain amount of trainings in that first quarter, and I only ended up doing one. But I know that realistically, with everything that is coming up, and just like even having the broad strokes of what my work is going to look like, it is not realistic for me to leave that up there right now. I left a blank sticky note so that I can come back once I kind of can think more about what a goal could be right now, because I just don't know. And then on the other side of that, with social media, I really want to get back to uploading twice a week here on YouTube. And that's gonna be really hard. It's gonna be really challenging. It's gonna require a lot of planning, but I want to try to take a stab at it. In my like financial goals section, it is looking a lot better. It is looking a lot better than it did in Q1, okay? Really, I'm just like paying a friend back who I owe some money to. I need to call them student loan people at some point and get them to like explain to me what the hell is going on, how to reset myself or whatever, because I know our like cutoff is in October for being able to pay them dust, okay? And that's what I've been doing. And so I know I need to get that together before I be in trouble. I don't want to be in trouble. I want to really clear up like any of my like buy now pay later situations, clear all that stuff up. I also want to go ahead through my subscriptions, because I'm in my reading era, okay? She's in her reading era right now, and I'm about to be really busy at work, so I want to go through some of my subscriptions and get rid of some of them, not all of them, because I do want to have stuff to watch when I'm home. But I do want to get rid of a couple of them because it's just unnecessary, and I'm spending money to have them, and I don't need to do that. I also want to try scheduling out some of my like utilities in advance, right? Not necessarily going on auto pay, because I have not reached that level of adulthood yet that I can just let an auto pay just run itself, you know, but being able to go through and like intentionally schedule when they take the money out in advance, I think would really help me, because I am really bad with remembering to go pay the damn bills when it's time to pay the damn bills. That is like really hard for me to just remember, and so they be sending me like the little text message threatening me and stuff, and I'm like, I have the money here, like but I never think about when stuff is due, like, and so I'm constantly like, oh yeah, I should go give them the money, like it's bad. So I want to try scheduling payments, like on this day go ahead and take the money, like fine. I also wrote here that I want to try to get like all of my paperwork in life in order. I didn't even tell you this. The girls at the bank who owned my car sent my title to the wrong place. Like, so my car is paid off, and they sent the fucking title to the wrong place, and they don't give you like a new one. Like Like they sent it to a place I used to live after I called them in advance and told them, hey, when I send this last payment, please send everything here. And they did not do that. And so my title to my car is just out in the wind. And so now I have to like get all my paperwork together to be able to get a new one. I'm very stressed out about this. I'm very stressed out about this. Everything just money, 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 just out the window. Okay, so under my health goals, I've been doing a pretty good job at cutting back on my meat consumption, and I just want to keep that going. You know, it's not that I'm like not eating meat anymore. I just want to dial back. Dial back, because I think at some point I kind of got out of control with that, and then it started to not make me feel amazing, especially like turkey, chicken, just not making me feel amazing. And so I kind of want to like eat that stuff sometimes, but I want to try to go back to like eating like better. I'm also gonna try to commit to walking at least 2 miles like 3 times a week. I know that this is like a really small goal for some people, but I am like a very sedentary person. On a regular day, I might only get like 150 steps in, maybe 90 steps in for the whole damn day. And that is just like really bad, you know? And so like, I'm gonna try to work on that, because I think it'll just help me, especially with things ramping up at work, and just being able to have the stamina, you know, to rip and run. I'm gonna need it, you know. Also just have like wanting to like make sure I get all my doctor's appointments at least scheduled in this quarter, if not go. Like I know it's really easy for me to go to the dentist, and so I'm probably gonna be doing that sooner than later, just because they're always having openings. But then I have like some appointments that I might not get in there until the end of Q4, so so I want to work on that now. And then I'm gonna try to go to the gym. I'm gonna try to go to the gym maybe 2 times a month. Again, I know that's like a small goal for some people, but it would be really big for me to leave my house and really go. I've been paying for a gym membership for like a year and some change now, and I haven't gone. And so like, I'm like, can I go twice a month? Like move my body on my own when I'm home, and then see if I can like show up to the gym twice each month for this quarter. We gonna see. I think I'm gonna fuck it up for July, because there's only a couple weeks left now. I'm like halfway through this job, but we gonna see. We gonna see. In my personal growth section, I have some things about like wanting to go to networking events. This has been on my list since Q1, and I had something scheduled in Q1 and then end up flaking, and you know, so it's still there. It's one of those things that's been on this board and is still on the board. And I actually have tickets to a networking event next month, so at least I'll have one thing written. Who knows if I will be able to add 2 more to hit my goal, but we'll see. I also have here that I want to read 3 books, which is like 1 book a month. And I'm gonna eat this goal up too, because as you already know, I've already finished 1 book, so I'm excited about that. I'm reading the Court of Thorn and Roses series, and I'm on the 2nd book right now that I fully committed to like reading, not listening to, where I read half and listened to half of the 1st book. For my like fun and recreation section here, I really just want to go to some new coffee shops, you know. There used to be this one like black owned Franny Lou's Porch coffee shop that I used to love, but they shut down, and that was kind of sad. But I don't have a new coffee shop that I like anymore, and so I want to just check out some new shops. I want to go to a farmer's market because I haven't been to one before. My cousins want to do like a gathering of some sort, and so I just wrote that like we would be doing that. Then in my like relationship section, I took off Okay, so at one point, and I think I talked about this too, was like I had a goal at some point to hit my friends up once a week because I am a deadbeat friend. And so like I used to like schedule an alarm in my phone once a week, and at that time I would sit and just hit up everyone, you know what I mean, just try to touch everyone or certain people, maybe there's certain people this week, certain people next week, to make sure I'm like keeping in touch, you know. But what's interesting about that is that at a certain point it started to make me a little bit resentful, because it's like, okay, wait, I'm doing a lot of hitting up and either some people are not hitting me back, or it's just not reciprocated in the same kind of way. And me pushing myself to make that sort of effort was actually making me feel bitter, or like making me have like thoughts about the people I was hitting up and like the lack of reciprocation. But it's like they didn't agree to that, I did, right? And it's like I hear how nutty that sounds, but anyway, I tried to bring that back in Q1 and failed, didn't do it. I also had a goal to become closer with a friend of mine, which I don't think that is necessary right now. And so I pulled that off and replaced it with returning the same energy to people who are giving me energy. So like, for example, I have a friend, Nathaniel, who has now for the 3rd time expressed wanting to hang out with me outside of our working situation, because we are new friends and I really like them, and I could see me hanging out like with them after work or whatever, you know. But I keep not doing it. But it's like, yo, this person is showing me like energy, why aren't I reciprocating that instead of going over here with other people who are not giving me that type of energy? You heard? So that's what I really want to do, is like be more mindful of the people who are giving me, you know, a certain kind of energy and reciprocating that with them, instead of chasing people. I also wrote that I want to go on a date at least once each month of this quarter, and I already have knocked that down for July. Probably story time at the end of the month. Baby, please don't do that. I love you. Yeah, but I think this is all like I really wanted to share. I said that I would come here and like record so that I could get the accountability of like actually doing this, because at the end of the day it is for me and my own good, but you gotta really like decide you're gonna do the thing and then do it. So here I am doing the thing. We're gonna see how it goes. I feel really good. I feel really good about what I wrote because it is realistic to what I have going on and it's not too much. I cannot be doing too much or I will burn out. And that is the truth, Ruth. That's the honest truth, Ruth. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna get going. Life awaits. But we'll keep talking, okay? Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.